In today's video, I'm going to give you an update on my Duesi hydroponic system growing my tomatoes. Let's begin. Hydroponics. What is it? Hydroponics is the art of growing your plants without the need of soil. The way how hydroponics works, to be honest with you, is that you're basically giving your plants the ions that it needs to be able to support plant growth. This right here is called a Duesi hydroponic system. It's similar to the AeroGrow Miracle Garden AeroGrow system. There are some key differences that I want to go over with. The Duesi hydroponic system is a 12 pod system, meaning that you can grow 12 plants in this system. But to be honest with you, I strongly recommend against that. In this system right now, I got 5 tomato plants growing in here. The reason 5, tomato plants need space. You don't want them crowded together because who would want to be in a crowd full of people and you're all just bunched up against each other? That rather feels really, really uncomfortable. It's stressful, and it's the same thing how your tomato plants are going to feel, right? Okay then, I only planted 5 tomato plants in this Duesi system. 1 here, 2 in the back, well actually 3 in front, 2 in the back. That way the tomato plants have at least a little bit of space so they can grow and spread out. And this also helps to keep the plants healthier and allows for good airflow. It also helps to provide you with higher yields. So why is this system here using a water pump instead of an air stone? That is a good question. It uses a pump that circulates water from the top of the surface and it forces it down to the bottom. This way it keeps the plant's roots aerated despite it not having an air stone. And so far from what I can see, it's actually been working pretty well. The pump is also on a 30-minute timer. 30 minutes on the hour, the pump turns on. Then after 30 minutes, it shuts off. And it's off at 30 minutes. This is kind of like a work-rest cycle for the system, which allows the nutrient solutions to circulate around, and then it gives the system a rest. This honestly is what I would call a deep water culture system. It doesn't use an air stone, it just uses an air pump, and pretty much the roots sit in a bath of nutrient solution. One thing that plants always need is lighting. And this system here comes with a 36-watt LED grow light. I've actually gotten some exposure to the light itself. It is bright. And from what you can see right here, it actually does very, very well in growing tomato plants. These types of tomato plants I ordered off of Amazon. These will be like red robins and yellow canaries, which they do set fruit very well in low light conditions. I've grown a lot of these plants. I remember in Montana when I did with hydroponics, I always grew short dwarf type tomatoes, and honestly, they all did very, very well. There are 2 features on this light here that are very unique. One, it has a vegetative feature where it has more blue light because blue light is actually for vegetative growth. That light spectrum actually keeps plants shorter and more stockier, and that is more for the vegetative stages. And it also has a flowering stage, which is more of a red light. It kind of signals the plant that, hey, the days are getting shorter and it's going more towards fall. We need to we need to get ready for harvest and such too. So that right there triggers the plant into going into a fruiting stage, which we can see right now on the flowers here. We got plenty of flowers on there, by the way, though. And it is actually going into the fruiting stage. So that's why I switched the light over to the flower, which gives it more of a red spectrum of color. And another nice thing I like about this is that it actually has full spectrum lighting. Majority of the LEDs are full spectrum lighting. It's not that ugly blurple color that I hate, and I know a lot of other growers hate as well. But this right here has more of a full spectrum with a mixture of a little bit of red and blue in it, depending on if you're doing flowering or veg. And to be able to fill up the system, has a little fill valve over on the side. All I have to do is slide the cover open, and I just pour in my readily mixed hydroponic nutrients. The amount of solution that it holds in here is about 1.5 gallons of solution. And even though it does come with its own nutrient solution, I wouldn't use it. I use the stuff that I always had good luck with growing tomatoes, and that's the Master Blend 4-1838, the calcium nitrate 1500, the magnesium sulfate, as well as C90. I also learned that adding aspirin to your nutrient solution gives the plant salicylic acid to help them to boost their immune system. So just in case they're attacked by diseases or pests or anything, the plants are ready for it. Now, when you are growing tomatoes indoors, there's one thing you got to remember. You are the pollinator. These tomato plants are not going to be able to pollinate themselves. But if you'd like to understand a video of how tomatoes pollinate, I will leave a link to the video in the description below. This right here is called a veggie bee. This right here is pretty much used to help to vibrate the tomato flowers and knock the pollen loose so that the plants can be able to self-fertilize. These right here have perfect flowers, meaning that they have both the male and the female parts in one flower. And all it takes is just a little bit of wind vibration or even vibration of a bee or just pretty much brushing your hand across the tomato plant is all it is enough to knock the pollen loose. And the best part of all is, since this right here is being grown indoors, these tomatoes don't have to worry about the extreme heat that would cause them to drop their blossoms or anything like that right there. So with this right here, you can be able to grow tomatoes pretty much within a month. So these tomato plants right here I planted about a month ago, and already they're already starting to set fruit. I want to thank you for watching my video, and please like and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to know more about growing tomatoes, whether it be indoors or outdoors, in containers or in hydroponics. I'm John Jr. I'm the Tomato Man. Take care of yourselves. God bless. Bye bye.